everyone, how's it going? This is Shen once more, and today I'm bringing you something a little bit different. I created a character, and my character was started off using SKK's Crimson Start. So basically, I started off at the beginning. When I started, my character started, I started at the beginning of the Crimson Fleet quest line. So basically, I was starting out as a pirate. I picked my backgrounds and all of that, and I became a pirate, and I was doing the pirate thing. And then I was doing other things in order to get my level up so that I would be capable of doing the missions as a pirate. So now I'm level 49, and a couple levels ago, I wanted to make a ship using the Crimson Habs that I got from CG or CJ or something like that. Anyway, um, it's a Crimson Fleet Habs mod that's out there. So I used a SKK's Crimson Start. I used CJ's Crimson Habs. And this is the ship I came up with. It's the Beetlejuice. I call it the Beetlejuice because I wanted to call it a beetle, but it's not quite rounded enough. So I just called it the Beetlejuice. Anyway, all the habs and the cockpit are based on that mod. So I'm going to start showing you all of the pieces of it. There it is sitting. That's not it. I'm making my home ship. Making my home ship. And you can see it has quite a bit of cargo space in it, 3,288. It's a B reactor 24. It's got a crew of 7, jump 25, shield 840. So it's a kind of a dichotomy. It's a pirate ship. So some choices that I made on it that are kind of different. I'm going to the builder. One of those choices are right here on these wings. So technically, the way this is supposed to go is this is how you put the wing together. And so it connects into this, it connects to these front and back pieces, and you got your top connector there, so, and a bottom as well. I connected them backwards, and the reason for that is I can take one of the horizon weapon mounts and stick it. I should be able to stick it right there. Now at that point I can mount weapons there out on the sides of my ship, which there's not a lot of weapon mounts. It may look like there's a lot, but there's not a lot of weapon mounts on this ship. Now I say that, and then there's 2 here facing forward and 2 on top facing forward and 2 over here and 2 below, and that's 8. And then there's none on here, and there's 1 on each of these cowling pieces. So that's 11. Then I got the back one, so if I want to face something to the rear, that's not a problem. Underneath, I'm not seeing anything. I have these 2 right here, but I don't like putting things there because I feel like they get squished when you land. But, I mean, it's certainly possible to put a couple there. But that's really all there is. So, I wanted the option, as you can tell I'm not making use of it right now, but I wanted the option of having those there. So, because I did Crimson Fleet, I have the comm spike and the conduction grid, and then I also have a multi-frequency scan jammer to handle, I believe, my non-existent shielded cargo. I have 1 shielded cargo. So that's my deal. It's 100 mobility, 150 speed. I'm using these 3020 engines, although I could push in the 3015s, but I worry that I'd lose a little mobility because they're not quite as much mobility thrust. So I've also got the ion beam reactor, the 1020, and an R2000 alpha grav drive, which gets me a 25 jump range. If I want a bigger jump range, I can do that again. I'd be potentially pushing the limit for my mobility. But I don't know that for sure, but that's okay. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pull this apart by layers like I usually do. And then I'm going to go through, well, actually, let's take a look inside, because it's really an interesting ship to walk around in. So the Habs were really well done in the pirate motif. So here's the only part that's not piratey. I go over here and I'm going to board. And we're going to go board and we're going to find pirate everywhere. So here is the mess. So the first thing my brother said was, boy, that's messy. Get a broom. So, but I mean, there's places to sit. There's med pack holders. There's a board for something. There's a punching bag. And this is just a, I think it's a storage. Might be a crew quarter, but when I move over here, I think it is a crew quarters. Yeah, okay, so this is the cockpit. You can see still messy. I can deal with some of this mess if I want to get rid of it. There is a set of commands I can get rid of the crud that's everywhere and make it a pretty red pirate mess. But I mean, other than that, it's a standard cockpit with, it's got a pirate flag and, goop on the floor. This is the first hub, the Habs. This is a 3x1. That is a crew quarters living area. You can see it has bunks. It has a galley, and you can use this cooking station. It's got a cooler, and then the recreation area. So then you go to the back, and we've got a down here. We'll go down there in a couple minutes. We got a computer, nothing on it. Didn't come with anything. Doors on both sides. We'll go to the right first. Well, the right as I was heading back to the back of the ship, so at the left. And you can see this is a more recreational crew facility. And there's nothing off there in the back. So again, I have a galley. There's another up. And there's a bathroom. My brother said there's bathrooms everywhere. They're pirates, they drink a lot. So then here is the stations for all your workstations. So this is an area where you can do all your changes, except it doesn't have a pharmacy. I noticed that, but well, maybe it does. Yeah, it does. So it has all the workstations, except it didn't have a research lab, so I added one there. So it's got a lot of stuff here that's really pretty good. And then again, it's got the mess, the pirate mess. I go back here and I have a 1x1 armory. Now this gives me a couple hundred in storage, so I believe it's 200 from the armory. And you see I got ammo cases and boxes and places to put stuff and all kinds of things back here. But because it gave me 200 cargo without a cargo hold, I went ahead and put another one down here. So again, we got all kinds of stuff here. Places we can put stuff. And you see it rearranged stuff because of where the doors go. But see, I got helmet racks and jetpack, backpack racks. And again, the mannequins. And then in through this door is just a standard cargo hold. So this is It looks like it, but I don't think it is. So I don't think I have any contraband on here. This is just a cargo hold, and the cargo hold gives you 500 cargo. So this is probably one of the biggest draws of this whole set. And I haven't used the cleanup routine. I want to see what it looks like clean, but I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. Eventually, supposedly, it goes back to looking like this after a week or so, and you have to use a command again. It's like you have to keep cleaning up. In the back over here, this is, again, the armory, and there are, as you can see, some weapon racks. So it's a bit, so the door is in a different place. There was a door here in the downstairs one, and this was not a door. So it changes around based on where the door goes, which I thought was kind of cool. Then I'll go over here, and we're going to see what's up above this living station. And we can see what we have here is a couple of habs. This is another storeroom.
Looking swell today, Cup.
There's my pirate girlfriend. And then here is the computer room. It's a computer and a control station all put together into one. Again, computers don't have anything on them. Maybe after we travel around a little bit they will, I don't know. But that's our hatch.
It's nice to see you.
And then a captain's quarters. And you can see I've got a mission board for Crimson Fleet. And I thought I had a bounty board, but it doesn't look like it. That's a cot. I got a place to sleep there and a place to sleep there. Huh. Interesting. Another bathroom. So back down I go, and then that's the inside. So that's where we are, and I can't remember, is it up here? Yeah. Out we go. So now we've seen the inside, and hopefully the ladders don't change very much, but if they do, it's a pretty small ship. So now we'll go into the nitty-gritty of the build. Okay, so the top is mostly just dressing except for this bit in the center. So let's take this off. This is the top layer. It's like I said, it's cowlings with the docker, and then of course it's got the jammer. I can't hold the button down while I do that. So we'll pop that over there. So we get down to the upper floor. So the upper floor consists of a tech core, which you can see has 4 crew stations. It's a 2x1. And then I've got a fleet captain's quarters, which again, it's a 2x1. Then there's a storeroom, which 700 cargo for each storeroom. I have the shield generator, which is tucked under one of the cowlings. So we're going to have to, play around with that to get it back together. That's okay. And then I've got an alpha grav drive, the R2000 style. And then 3 of the White Dwarf engines. Then I have comm spike and the conduction grid and the cowlings with 4 of the PB-175 Hellion beams. And then up front, I get the Stroud braking engines, and then the H1020 ion beam reactor. And that's what I have on that level. Most of this I put together I started in, strangely enough, and we'll look at it in a minute. I put it together by buying the Habs and putting them in place and figuring out how I wanted the rest of the ship to look in reference to that. Sorry, I had a cough. So here are the rest of the Habs down here. We've got a 3x1 crew quarters, a 2x1 fleet mess hall, and then a 2x1 fleet workshop. We've got two Stroud mid bracers, and then a fleet armory. And this is the middle layer of the ship. So let's grab that. I use these hope things just to round things out, just because, I'm just funky that way. And I used 2 to 300G HE3 tanks, which is what I could get on the key. So not everything is available on the key. I got what I could, and then went from there. Now the Hope Tech stuff was available on the key, strangely enough, but there you go. Then down on the lower level, I used this, the only landing gear they had, other than one of the leg gears that I don't like. I got the Hope 6 landing gears in their various arrangements, a line of them on each side. I've got 3 bracers, or 3, I got a Stroud bracer, and then I got 2 of the storerooms. One is an armory. As you can see, I get 400 cargo for an armory and 700 for a storeroom. And then I have the NG6 landing bay, which goes up, not back. So these are basically off the beaten path, is what I like to call it. And then in the back I have one of the 100 cm ballast shielded cargo hold, which is 160 cargo shielded. And that's everything about the ship. Now, to just pull this apart a little more, I'll show you how I started. I started by buying all of the Hab pieces that I could buy. And I just bought them, and I had them spread around where I wanted them, right? So then I came along and I just started putting them in place. I don't know. Why isn't it going in? That does not look right, does it? We changed our level somehow. Alright, put it back together and see where we screwed up. I screwed up somewhere. I definitely screwed up somewhere. Let's see, so this is this layer. anyway, I arranged the Habs and then I put the thing around it. So, um, oh yeah, and I did use some merging for some things because the, yeah, let's do it the easy way. We'll put it back together the easy way. I did have to do some merging, so you can see over here, I merged into this piece, and then down below I had to merge these pieces into these landing gears. And then under here is where the shield is, in the back, but under there. So there is some merging that took place. If you don't like merging, this ship build won't work for you, but I feel like if I was putting a ship together, really putting a ship together, and let's take for instance these balls. If I was putting a ship together and I wanted to put this here, I would carve things out and make it work. Okay? So when I put it in and it says it won't work, that just means the builder won't work. So I flip it. Once I get the click, I just hit escape to drop it, and it's there because it clicked. It means it locked in. So we were short on some of the connection points, but I really liked the way this looked. I wanted it one forward, but I would have to put something here that it could connect up to, and I didn't want to do that, and it can't connect to the side of that. So they're one back, and then so we get this little deal where it's sticking out in the back a little bit, and then it kind of hides that sort of. It's not really hidden, but anyway. And then over here, these wings are just hanging free. They're not connected to the engines because the engines don't have side connectors. But the front one is connected, so everything behind it is hanging in space. Like I said, I could switch this around, and now those two pieces are connected, which gives us more stability, but I don't really think that's necessary. But that's the build, and I had a lot of fun building it because this is the first one that I did in this fashion, and as you can see, it's fat from top to bottom compared to my other ones. Most of my other ones are 2 layers, period. This is 4 layers, and it's a little different. It's shorter, from front to back. It's 48 meters long and 42 meters wide, 21 in each direction, 24 in the front and back direction. So it's pretty fun. It's got 4 of the PB 175s. At the time when I was building this, I didn't have access to the PBOs, which I could get now, but I'd still want to keep these on here. There's reasons for that, if I upgraded the reactor to get to the higher reactor that I can buy now, then I would put another weapon here, another one of these PB100 neutron beams, and I got the PB100s again because they match these in fire rate, so they're all firing at the same rate, and that's what I wanted. I could put them underneath, and I thought about that. Put them down under here, and then put 4 of them under there, once I get the thing, but that's okay. I'll just leave them the way they are for now, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think it's a nice little ship. It did some really crazy damage. It's a little slower firing, so you can't like jump in with both feet, but The thing that's great about these weapons is they don't run dry. So you fire them, they keep firing, you don't run out of shots. With the faster firing ones, there's like a battery of shots. And if you fire long enough, you use up the battery and you gotta wait for it to recharge a little bit before you can fire again. With these ones, with these slower firing ones, it's just constant. The drain is the drain, and it just constantly drains enough to fire as you go. So you have less worry about running out of shootability, which is cool. If I could, that's what kind of reactor can I get on here? I'm level 49 now. I was definitely lower when I did this ship. The reactor that I can get that's a B is a 31. The 28 is a 24. Look like the same ones. It might be just where I am right now. There's a 28. What do we got? We got a there's a Z Machine 4000. I don't quite have the Starship designed to run it, but I could still put it on there. Is that it? That's it. Then I'd have to find a reactor. In case you don't know how to make these fit, again, it's just a flip. And once it clicks, then you just let it go. And so now I've got 35, so I could easily just copy one of these over. Although I think I would go with the lower extremity. And then maybe put a missile launcher up here. And again, I didn't do, and I never will, do the, let's just C. I don't want to C, so I guess I'll go to the A. I like the nice flat missile launchers. I can put that in there. If I really was wanting to be kind of creepy, I would take the shield and put the shield under here. Take that off temporarily. Put it back on. And put this. Widget. We can't get one here. And we would have to use a didn't I save one of those somewhere? Maybe not. Anyway, we'd have to use a equipment plate. I thought I had one somewhere, but I guess not. I must have got rid of it in the long run. So we'd put the equipment plate down right here, and that would allow me to mount a weapon on there. And then this will mount to the rear, so it mounts to that. And that's how you can do it. You have to have the dual mount. You can't put two things on the same connector. You have to have two connectors that try and lock something in the same space. Anyway, that's what I'd do there. Mobility went down because of the new reactor and the weapons. If I take away the missile launcher, I do not get my mobility back, but 98 is, you're not going to notice the difference between 98 and 100. It's pretty much the same thing. Let's see, assign the missiles, and I've got a 41 equipment drain. So just so you know, I've got Vasco on here. I have Andromeda on here. So they give me 1 point aneutronic fusion each. That's 37. And I believe I have 3 points. So that's 40. So I'm only 1 point short of having enough to power this completely. This is actually a pretty potent little ship the way it is. It could use more hull. That's the only thing it could use, which hull equals health. So mass equals what you have to do to push it, and hull equals health. I could get bigger engines too. I think I have 2030s available. White Dwarf 3030. So let's see, let's accept this, because I want those changes. Then if I wanted to, I could just upgrade the ship and make it into, I don't want to do that one, I want to do this one. Make it into 3030s. Get back to my 100. And then again, I'm at a 100 and I am just rocking. It's a great pirate ship. I mean, look at this cargo. It's got a 3200 cargo with 160 shielded. You don't need much shielded. So it's and shielded means less as you fill the entirety of your cargo hold. So I'd have to get over 3,000 before it's really going to start being hard to hide the fact that I have contraband on here. So it's a really nice little ship that I really like. Beetlejuice, that's it. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Bye. Hey, y'all have a great day. Be excellent to one another. And peace out.